I feel like this. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be reacting to, what's the video? What was the last straw that helped you in the narcissist relationship? And y'all, this is about to get good because this is like people on TikTok telling us how what made them leave their horrible relationship. And I'm interested. If y'all interested, let's watch it. So let's just get right into the video because it's no need to be talking. Y'all know what the video is about. Y'all read the title. Let's go.
That was the last straw that helped you end your narcissistic relationship.
So y'all know common sense is something that I lack commonly. And I love embarrassing myself on the internet, but here y'all go. So I was dating this dude for a couple months and I ended up moving in with him. The narcissist always wants you right up under him, right? And I began to consistently get yeast infections and BV. And I knew in my mind, body, and spirit that it was because he was doing it with somebody else. But you know, narcissists are going to consistently make you feel like you're the problem and gaslight you. So months into us living together, he put his hands on me. He broke both of my phones. He broke my laptop. He let his family steal from me. But none of that was enough. The last straw for me was when I got into an argument with his ex-girlfriend. And she said, and that's why you wasn't even getting none, because your pum-pum stink.
Oh hell no. Oh hell no. I know he was not talking to the motherfucking ex about, oh yes, that bitch had to go. Because I wish a bitch would. Y'all, and I could relate to a story like this. Not about the ex saying that, but I could relate about the, y'all want a story time? Let's continue.
This man that was giving me yeast infections and BB had the nerve to tell her my pum-pum stink.
Stitch this with something that was the last straw that helped you end your narcissistic relationship.
Baby, my edges though. But listen, the relationship was already dead, but this is how he ended up getting blocked because I was extremely disgusted. So I've said countless times that all of our arguments are because of child support. He feels like he's not supposed to be on child support, but he also doesn't feel like he should help me like he should. So one Monday, we're arguing, of course, about child support. He gets upset and starts to belittle me, and he says, you're never gonna amount to anything, your life is sad, and you're always gonna live with your mom. So I block him. So he proceeds to text me from a different number, calling me a clown, calling me pathetic, and of course his favorite line, I'm gonna take you to court. Like I've said, I've been waiting 4 years for that day to come. So the next day I get a random
Let's continue.
Snapchat message. It's a video of him and some girl in the car. I don't respond. The girl texted back and was like, damn, look at your baby daddy. I seen question marks. And she says, he's into me now. Okay. Then she says, I'm gonna go suck him up real quick. Go check your blood sugar. Weird insult, but okay. Months go by and I ask him about it. And he's like, I don't know nothing about that. So you just tell random girls about my health issues?
Stitch this with something that was the last straw that helped you.
That is just dumb as fuck. Why you gossiping like a bitch? Okay.
End your narcissistic relationship.
It was watermelon. I bought some watermelon and he ate it all, and the first time it happened we thought it was funny, we laughed about it, haha, and I kept buying more. He kept eating it all. I mean, I'm telling you, it happened at least 40 or 50 times, and I started getting to the point where I'm like, can you just save me some? And he kept eating it all. And one day I go into the refrigerator, he's standing right there, he knows what happened, the watermelon's gone again, and I'm like, can I ask you a question? And he's like, not if you're just going to be mean about it. And I'm like, no, I genuinely want to know, why can't you just save me some watermelon? And he's like, I knew it, you're rude and disrespectful. And I'm like, wouldn't the rude and disrespectful thing that happened here be that you keep eating all the watermelon?
Duh.
Not that I have to come and ask you about it again. And that's when I realized he was a narcissist, and I asked for a divorce within a week after that.
Stitch this with something that was the last straw that helped you end your narcissistic relationship.
Oh, I've been waiting for this one. I haven't really talked about this publicly because my therapist said no. But you know what? He's still chatting shit about me, so fuck it. The reason that my ex-husband and I divorced is because he cheated on me. And when he told me I did some grimy shit too, not even gonna hold you, I apologized for my part in it, but he never took accountability for what he did. He manipulated me, gaslit me, and the last night that we were together, he physically assaulted me. But the last straw for me was a 2-for-1. I went over to my friend's house, who is a married man. His wife was there, by the way. When I came back, my ex-husband was convinced that I cheated on him. I literally had to call my friend and put him on speakerphone to confirm that I was at his house. And then one time when I said I needed to stay with my father for space, he said, this is what you're gonna do? You're just gonna walk out on me? You literally just accused me of cheating on you with my married friend. And nigga, yes, I'm going to stay with my dad.
Stitch this with something that was a last straw that helped you end your narcissistic relationship.
Yeah, I just looked at him. I went back to get the D one last time, and then I peered over at his face, and I couldn't even really see why I was attracted in the first place. And I was like, is it you, Jesus? I think it was God. So I was cool after that.
Stitch this with something that was a last...
Ain't that some shit? Like, okay, she real as fuck. Like, she just blunt. She just straight to the point. Yeah, that's funny.
straw that helped you end your narcissistic relationship.
I was with this loser for 3 years, on and off. He isolated me from my friends and family. He went as far as choking me and spitting on my face. And very bizarrely made a fake Tinder profile using my images without asking me. He would interrogate me about my past, call me a slut, call me dumb, and was incredibly abusive towards me. Would constantly break up with me and try to get back together. At the time, I didn't even really see what was happening as abuse. But anyway, the very last time I saw him, the topic of the stolen generations came up in conversation. For context, I am a proud Aboriginal woman, and something he would do in particular was belittle everything that I said. I brought up the fact that Aboriginal kids are still being taken away at alarming rates. And this motherfucker says, "What about white kids?" And that was the moment I snapped. I went home that night and I've never spoken to him since. I've blocked him on everything. I finally got away. And now I'm living my life like it's golden.
The number one question that I get asked is, Rob, what's the least amount of followers anybody has ever gained from your mentorship program? And the answer is 6,500.
Stitch this with something that was a last straw that helped you end your narcissistic relationship.
Girl, he dropped his glasses. I'm gonna give the short version. This was a guy I had dated for 4 years, and he was my first boyfriend I ever had, so I got with him when I was only 16, and I stayed with him until I was 20. And in all 4 of the years, he was mentally abusive, emotionally abusive, physically abusive, controlling, manipulative, all of that narcissistic shit. Now, we were both in college. I had housing. He didn't have housing because he was kicked off. He being the kind of person I am, I let him stay with me, and we were sleeping together in the twin-size bed. One night, it was raining, we got into it, and he said he's leaving to go sleep somewhere else. I had been ready to leave him for about a year at that point, but I was too soft-spoken and insecure. When he got to the place he was going, he called me and said, "I dropped my glasses and I can't see without my glasses and it's raining. I need you to come help me." I said, "I'm done. It's over."
Stitch this with something that was a last straw that helped you end your narcissistic relationship.
Hey, Catherine here. So, what was the final straw to finally make me leave my 15-year marriage to my narcissist? Well, my ex was very controlling when it came to affection. We didn't have much. But the final straw was when I had a really bad day at work. I came home, expressed my bad day, and I looked at him and said, "I could really use a hug." And he looked at me and he said, "You're selfish. You're selfish for asking for a hug."
How the fuck is she?
That was the final straw. That's when I said, "No, I'm done."
That's
Stitch this with something that was a last straw that...
How the fuck is she selfish because she wants a hug? Like, I would leave too. Like, I just asked for a hug. I feel you.
helped you end your narcissistic relationship.
So after 7 years and a whole kid later, homie decided he needed a break. He didn't need a break up. He didn't want to break up. He didn't want us to be like...
If a guy tell you he need a break, leave his ass. He just trying to cheat in peace and come back.
Single and like go date other people. He just wanted to take some time and figure himself out. Whatever that meant. But this was after 7 years, sir. And out of 3 of those years, I have been asking you to get your shit together and take some time and figure things out. But no, you didn't want to do that. On top of that, you had infidelity issues. Your responsibilities were not in the right place. Like, I could write a whole book on the shit that I went through with this man. I could do a whole series on the shit that I went through with this man. But, yeah, so that was my last straw. And I don't do breaks.
Damn.
Stitch this with something that was a last straw that helped you end your narcissistic relationship.
The last night that we were together, he came home from a Memorial Day party. It was like 90 degrees outside. He wanted to take our baby daughter out there, and I was like, no, it's 90 degrees outside, and whatever, so I refused. So he comes home, drunk, angry, calling me names, this and that, whatever, yelling at me for not coming, and just everything you can possibly think of. But the last straw for me was he called me a fucking loser. And my brain was just like, this man who can't even keep a job because he's so much of a drunk is calling me a loser when I pay for all of his stuff. We were gonna get married in 2 weeks. That was it. I was done.
Stitch this with something that was a last straw that helped you.
Like, could y'all imagine you about to get married in 2 weeks and he want to call you a fucking loser? First of all, you're the loser because you haven't got your shit together and she's paying for everything. So how about you get your life together and then you can talk.
In your narcissistic relationship.
Bye. First and foremost, I'm going to start off by saying that this was absolutely a last straw. So I dated someone who did not tell me he had a whole bunch of kids. He waited until I was well invested to tell me that he had more children. Things got hairy very quickly. And when I went to the courts to put a restraining order on that ass, do you know what this motherfucker did? He told me the reason why he didn't want a restraining order was because he wanted to have access to my son. My son that was not biologically his. My son who has a very active dad in his life. My son whose dad was ready to go to war over someone who used to abuse the fuck out of me and still wanted to gain access to my child because he said he didn't see his kids enough and that my son filled a void for him.
Stitch this with something that was a last straw that...
First of all, I got so many questions. You got mental problems. You need to go see somebody because something ain't right up there. Her son ain't your son, so you need to go be daddy to your own kids. So, let's continue.
It helped you end your narcissistic relationship?
So my daughter's like 1 and some odd months, and I've been with this man for 4 years. If you watch my life story, you already know that. One day, I was feeding my daughter in the morning while he was asleep because he was always asleep in the mornings while I was feeding my daughter. But she didn't have a high chair. And the day before that, he had thrown a huge fit about me giving her a peanut butter sandwich and letting her walk around with it because she was making a mess and it was disgusting. Of course she was making a mess. She was 1. I was gonna clean it. It wasn't really an issue. Anyways, he threw a fit. So he had this adjustable plastic art table, and the way it's set up, if I put it at its lowest setting, it would slide right over her lap like a convenient TV tray. So I put her on the couch and I put the tray in front of her and I gave her her food. He came out from the room and said, "Oh, fuck no. No, that's my art table. She doesn't need to eat on it. That's mine, blah, blah, blah." Flipping that I used his art table to feed our child. And I was like, where else is she supposed to eat? She doesn't have a high chair. Am I supposed to make her stand like an animal to eat? Is that what you would like for a toddler? He was like, I don't know, but you don't need to use my stuff.
Weirdo, like, who the hell can treat your child like that? Like, she's just a baby.
And that kind of piled on to the fact that if any of her stuff ended up on his side of the bed or his side of the living room or his areas, he would just put all of her stuff in my areas because his areas were still sacred but mine were not. And it really just contrasted whose child he actually felt like she was. He wanted all the rights, all the claim, all the love, all the praise for the wonderful child that he had and the wonderful way that she was growing and maturing and learning. But he wanted none of her to touch his life.
Weird.
Peace, dude. Peace. You're gonna make my daughter seem like an imposition to you? Peace. She can be in my space and she can take up as much of my space as she wants. Fucking disgusting. Over a plastic, easily washable table.
What's a hill that you're willing to die on 1,000% of the time?
So y'all, I think that was about the end of the videos, but these were some pretty interesting stories, especially like that last one. I'm like, how you gonna do the baby like that? All you gotta do is wash it off. Like, you acting like, okay, you're acting like it's just her kid and she had the kid with somebody else. Even then, you shouldn't even treat the baby like that. But still, like, this is your child. Like, why can't she? Weird. Like, guys are weird like that. That's just those type of guys that ain't even ready to be a dad. They just think they want to be a dad, but then when it comes to being a dad, then they don't want to. Like, oh my god, I've seen that play out so many times. Like, they love to take credit for what the baby's doing, but when it comes to being a dad, they can't be a dad at all. They don't even know how to be a dad. So yeah, y'all. So if you guys want me to react to like more things like that, like, I will. Like, this was pretty fun. I feel like my camera's out of focus, but this is pretty fun. Like, kind of just hearing people's stories and like what made them leave. If you guys want to hear like what made me leave all my relationships, comment down below. And yeah, I would start from the first one and on. And yeah, y'all, and I will share like more life stories about me if you guys want to hear that. And if you guys did not see when my ex-boyfriend stole my car video, go check it out. And yeah, it might be uploaded before this video or after this video, but it will be on my channel. So make sure you guys go check it out. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe if you guys would love to see more videos like this. And yeah, y'all, thanks for watching. Bye.